Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وصلى الله وسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, awesome. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, so we're going to get cracking with this text, inshallah ta'ala. So following on from last week's feedback, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take it sentence by sentence. If you have any questions, shoot. Most of you said that the text for last week, which was 4 pages, was too long. And most of you found it difficult, but not too difficult such that we can't continue at that level. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it by half, because most of you said that you translated either 1 or 2 pages. And so we're going to translate approximately 1 page. This is round about 1 page, a little tiny bit more than that. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to try and stick to the text, the screen of the text, as much as possible. I was thinking of whether or not I should make presentations again, but the reason I'm not going to do that is because the purpose of this class is for you to get used to reading. And so what I want to do is kind of encourage you to feel as if you're reading an actual book, because these things, that's exactly what they lead to. A book is just more pages and more paragraphs and more sentences. And in fact, sometimes you'll find that the language that you'd find in a text like this is actually higher than the vast majority of books. It's actually higher than the vast majority of books. And even a lot of basic Islamic studies books, Islamic sciences books, you'll find that the Arabic is actually not that difficult. It's not that difficult. If you look at the books of Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala, they're not tough. If you look at, for example, Aysar al-Tafasir by al-Jazairi, it's not that difficult. It's actually very simple language. But we don't want to train you such that you're just used to very simple language. Because if you start looking at the works or the classical works, or even the modern day works that are slightly academic, you'd become lost. And so we don't want to be sathi, we don't want to be just surface level. We want umq, we want depth. And obviously that takes time, that takes dedication, that takes effort. But inshallah ta'ala, bit tawfiq, anything is possible and everything is possible, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so let's get going, inshallah. First, if you could just, I don't mind how you do it, you can just raise your hand if you want, or you can just send me a Y as a private message on Zoom. Who finished translating this text? So from here to here. I just want to get a rough feel, rough marker. You can either, if you don't want to do it in front of everyone else, there's nothing to be embarrassed about anyway, but or else I'll assume that you haven't done it. So just send either a Y privately to me, or just raise your hand. Okay, I know it's not just one of you who's done it. Okay, almost finished it. Okay, who's almost finished it? I see, it was more of a time issue. Okay, almost finished it. Khairan. Okay, who hasn't touched it at all? Raise your hands. Obviously, put your hands down, those who have put their hands up. Yeah, who hasn't touched it at all? Okay, who's done about 20%? 40%? 60%? Good. Okay, Hussein, you can lower your hand again. Okay, all right, so 60% seems like quite a lot of you. 80%? Okay, mashallah. And 100% is just one of you. Okay, good, Jayid. That's not bad. Just push yourselves, really push yourselves. I know a lot of you had exams. A lot of you are working as well. This year I'm working a lot as well. And really, you know, the level that we want to get to, you want to get to a level where you find rest and you find respite and you find joy in reading Arabic. The same way, for example, you just sometimes open up a novel just to relax, just to unwind, just to think about something else. That's the kind of level you want to reach. That only comes after a lot of difficulty, after a lot of time in the dictionary. What you also want to do is make the Quran like that. That when you go to the Quran, you relax. You find it like mata'. The same way the Prophet ﷺ said, جُعِلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنِي فِي الصَّلَاةِ, that my pleasure was placed in the prayer. We also want to reach a level like that. And the only way that's really possible is if you go through that first hurdle, you go through that difficulty, and then the Quran opens up to you and you understand the Quran. Because then the Quran, it becomes very different to how you may experience it now. Okay, anyway, let's get going, inshallah. Bismillah. في عدة جهات من الدنيا سحارى قاحلة لا حيوان فيها. في عدة جهات, in many places or in many areas من الدنيا, from the world, Sahara are deserts, قاحلة are dry deserts, لا حيوان فيها, there are no animals in them, ولا نبات, and no crops, أرضها رمال جافة, its earth is dry powder or dry dust. Okay, all right, let's break that down. So we start off with two shibhu jumlas. The reason I put anything I put in a cloud, I want to talk about. Iddati jihat, the word idda, when it's used like that as a mudaf, then it means many. So jihat literally means a jiha is like a perspective or a face of something. Yeah, but here it means in like multiple locations. Okay, min ad-dunya, in multiple locations from the earth. Now this is important, write this down. Whenever you have a shibhu jumla starting a sentence like that, yeah, it can have an indefinite subject. Now a lot of you probably became confused at Sahara. Yeah, the reason for that is because you can't see the dhamma, but really there's a dhamma there. The reason you can't see it is because of the alif maksura. Yeah, and Sahara is the plural of Sahra. Oh, sorry, Sahra is the plural of Sahra. So you know the Sahara desert, it comes from that. Literally the Sahara desert means desert. It means desert. Because why? Sahra in Arabic just means desert. And so the Sahara desert, it comes from that. Yeah, but obviously, I don't know, maybe the Westerners, they didn't know that. So they thought, oh, that's a desert called Sahara. I don't know. But Sahara is the plural of deserts. Okay, so though you can't see the dhamma, just know that it's there. Okay, and so Sahara is the subject of this noun sentence. So remember, we said a prepositional phrase can never be a subject nor a predicate. Yeah, we said that. And we have two prepositional phrases, one after the other. And Sahara is the subject. Okay, what is qahilatun then? What's the role of qahila? You can tell me. Qahila means dry. You can unmute yourself just to make it quicker maybe. Good. It's an adjective. It's a sifa. So Sahara is the mawsuf and qahilatun, look, it's female and singular. Why? Because Sahara is an irrational plural. Yeah? And so we have fi iddati jihatin min ad-dunya, in multiple places in the world. Sahara, there are deserts. Qahilatun, there are dry deserts. And then la hayawana fiha, remember I talked about this last week. Yeah, this is called lam nafiyatul jins. Lam and nafiyatu lil jinsi. Literally it means the lam that negates the class of a noun. So when you have this lam, remember it's a sister of inna, it's a sister of inna, it makes the noun mansoob and there is no tanween. So if you look here, look, la hayawana, it ends with a fatha. Why does it end with a fatha? Because it's mansoob. Why is it mansoob? It's because it's after lam nafiyatun, lam an-nafiyatu lil jins. Okay? And it doesn't have tanween, as you can see there, as you can see here. Yeah, so both of these lam, they are both the same type of lam, and we call it lam an-nafiyatu lil jinsi. Everyone say that at home. Lam an-nafiyatu lil jinsi. Okay? So la hayawana fiha. So there are no animals inside it. Wala nabata. And there are no crops or no plants within it. Okay? So now we have fi iddati jihatin min ad-dunya, in multiple places in the world, Sahara, Qahila, there are dry deserts. La hayawana fiha, there are no animals in them. Them is a feminine and singular because it refers back to Sahara. Wala nabata. Arduha, again, ha is referring to Sahara. Yeah, ha is referring to Sahara. Arduha rimalun jafatun. Its earth, its ground is dry dust. Rimal meaning dust or like a powder, or rimal is like dust. Jaffa is dry. So dry dust. Okay. Are there any questions on this part? Just raise your hands if you don't have a question, so I can move on. Okay, Saad, Shahinur, do you have any questions? Yamin? Okay. Khair, inshallah. If you do have any questions, I'm going to move on to the next sentence. If you do have any questions, just I'll go back, inshallah. Okay. لا ترى فيها قطرة ماء. لا ترى, you do not see. فيها, in them. So ha is feminine and singular because it's going back to Sahara. لا ترى فيها. I'm going to rub that out because it's getting messy. لا ترى فيها, you do not see inside it. قطرة ماء. قطرة is a drop. You don't see inside it a drop. قطرة ماء. A drop of water. A drop of water. Okay? And so we have la, you do not see. La is negation. Tara is you see. La tara, you do not see. Fiha, in them. قطرة ماء. And the reason قطرة is mansoob is why? Not a rhetorical question. Brilliant, because it's an object. So we have the verb and the subject inside tara, and we have the object over here. لا ترى فيها قطرة ماء. Okay. يسلكها الناس اضطرارا. The people, I'm going to translate this, and I want you to tell me why the word in the box is mansoob. I want you to tell me that, okay? يسلكها الناس, people, they, suluk is like to salaka yasluku, maybe to go by or to walk through. Yeah, travel. Yeah, travel is good. So people travel in them. So again, that ha is still referring back to Sahara. People travel within them out of dire necessity. People travel in them out of dire necessity. That's the translation. Now I want someone to tell me why ittiraran is mansoob. Is that clear?
the answering the question of why.
Yes, very good. It's answering the question of why. And so because of that, it's مفعول له ومفعول لأجله. Yeah? So اضطرارا is telling you why the people go through it. And therefore, this isn't an object. Or you can say it's the object of reason. It's not the verbal object though. يسلكها الناس اضطرارا. I think that sentence is clear. So the people travel within them out of necessity. فيحملون. So يحملون, they carry. Una is plural. Yeah. يحملون, they carry. زادهم. Zad is mansub. The reason it's mansub is because it's the maf'ul bihi. فيحملون زادهم من ماء وطعام. So they carry their provisions من ماء وطعام. See here, if you said from, that might be a poor translation. Here really the best way to translate min would probably be of. Yeah. فيحملون زادهم, so they carry their provisions من ماء وطعام, which are of water and food. على ظهور الجمال. على ظهور الجمال. ظهور is مضاف. الجمال is مضاف إليه, which is why it is مجرور. ظهوري is after the preposition, which is why it's مجرور. Okay, على ظهور الجمال, on the backs of camels. ويسيرون. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, that's a terrible place to stop. Okay, are there any questions up to here? لا ترى فيها قطرة ماء يسلكها الناس اضطرارا. Just raise your hands if there are any. If you don't have a question. Well, I just realized it's a very long paragraph, and most of it is linked. Good. Yeah, the quicker you do it, the better. نعم, عندك سؤال. زاد. What's the root of اضطرارا? I'm going to come back to that. Sadi, I'm going to come back to that. But because I want to teach that. Actually, does it come back again? I think it does, right? Ooh, subhanallah, jazakumullah khairan. I almost forgot. That was one of the things that I wanted to teach today. Good, jazakallah khair, Sadia. La, Zaki, it's because you looked at it the wrong way. So Zad can have two roots. It can be Zada, which means to increase, which comes from Ziyada, or it can be Zad as in provisions. Zad, the root, the noun. Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا, and take your preparations. فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ زَادِ التَّقْوَى, and indeed the greatest preparation that you can make is that of taqwa. So Zad, you're right, if it was the verb, it would be to be more than, or to increase. رَبِّي زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. رَبِّي زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. ما معنى سلك يسلك؟ والله سلك يسلك, it means like the translation that the brothers gave is travel. لكن والله لا أطمئن بهذا. Let me look it up, because there's a suluk is like it's more than that. It's more than that. I just can't think of a good comprehensive translation at the moment off the top of my head. Let me see. Salaka, to follow, travel, to take, enter upon a course, to behave. Yeah, good. So it does have that meaning of traveling as well, but the other side of that meaning is like behavior, or to proceed, or to act, or to set foot, or to enter. So here maybe rather than travel is fine as well, to be honest, but maybe something more like to proceed, or to enter the to enter the desert. أمزادك الله علما. آمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. Oh no, you're referring to the previous. You're referring to the previous discussion. Yeah, good. Anyway, I mean, may Allah increase me knowledge, inshallah. Wa iyyakum jami'an, inshallah. But yes, zada is the verb. If it's the verb, then it means to increase. But if it's the noun, then it means provision. ما معنى سلك يسلك أجبنا إلى ذلك. Let me just get the hands way into my screen so you can see: to follow, travel down a road, to take, enter upon a course or road, to behave, comport, etc., etc. You would search for sin, lam, kaf in the Hansberry dictionary. Okay, good. Yes, what is the root of ittirar? So the root of ittirar, just to very quickly answer your question, is dad, ra, ra. But there's a rule here that we want to learn. So we all know that form 8 is on this form, ifta'ala. So the fa, the ayn, and the lam are replaced with the root of the word. For example, ijtahada. Ijtahada. So that's ijtahada. That's on form 8. Yeah, we all know that. You all know that. Ijtahada yajtahidu fahuwa mujtahidun. Ujtuhida yujtahadu fahuwa mujtahidun. Ijtihadun ijtahid la yajtahid. We know that. Now you see this ta is an interesting one because it changes. It can either change to a dal, or it can change to a ta, and all of that depends on what the fa is. Okay, if the fa of the root, as in this letter here, so here the fa of the root is jim. Yeah, if the fa of the root of the word is ta, dha, sad, or dad, then that ta, it becomes a ta. Okay, and so for example, let's use the example that we have right in front of us, ittirar. Yeah, so we have the dad there, we have the ra there, So look, number one, whenever you have two roots like that, one after the other, one of them takes a shadda. That's a rule in sarf. Yeah, that's a rule in sarf. And so we're going to get rid of the second one. Or really what happens, let me tell you what actually happens. What happens is the first one, it takes a sakin. Whenever you have a sakin and then a vowel after it, and they're both the same letters, what that is actually is called a shadda. That's really what a shadda is. Yeah. So the verb of ittirar would look like ittarra. The reason you keep the ra in the ifti'al is because it doesn't come immediately after. Yeah. So ifti'al is the masdar. This is advanced sarf. The reason I'm going through it now is because, mashallah, we've practiced the forms a lot throughout your Arabic careers. Okay, so if you turn that into idtirar, yeah, so the ayn turns into a ra. Let's put the alif back. If you see, look, in the first example, the two ra's came immediately after. In this example, the two ra's don't come immediately after, and so the alif stays and both ra's stay. Yeah, both ra's stay. In this situation, yeah, if you listen to the ittirar or ittarra, if your tajweed isn't good, that would be nearly impossible to say. Not that my tajweed is good, but yani, the ta is very difficult to say because everything around it is heavy, and so to make it easier on the tongue, this turns into a ta, not a ta. So it becomes iltarra, which is a lot easier to say. Listen to the difference. Iltarra. Try and do that. Iltarra is tough. It's difficult. You probably do it wrong. But if you do it together like this now with the ta, iltarra is easier. It's easier. Okay? I don't know if you can hear properly over the mic anyway. But so this is what happens on form 8 if the fa, yeah, in this situation the fa is the jim. In this situation the fa is a ta, is a dad. Sorry, yeah. if the fa is a dad, if the fa is a dad, a sad, a ta, or a dha, then the ta, this ta, becomes a ta. Raise your hands if that's clear, please. Could you say that again? Yeah, I can say that again. 1 second. All right, let's look at another example then. Yeah, let's look at another example. Maybe it will be clear with another example. Yeah. So look, remember, when we talk about sarf, we're talking about scales. So fa, ayn, and lam. We use that as a generic scale to discuss every single word. Okay. In this situation, we're going to use the root tala'a. Ta, lam, and ayn. Ta, lam, and ayn. In our previous example, it was darara, darar, which means harm. Darar, yeah? Here is tala'. Tala'a shamsu, the sun rose. Okay, let's change that now to this form. How are we going to do that? First, let's have the ayn and the ta nice and ready for us. The fa of the root is ta. The fa is ta. So we're going to write a ta there. Yeah. The ayn is lam. So we're going to write a lam there. And the lam of the root, this lam here, I'm not talking about this lam, the lam of the scale is ayn. Ibtala'a. Listen to that, listen to that. Ibtala'a. That is difficult. Ibtala'a. لا ibtala'a. I can't even do it. I'm saying it wrong. Ibtala'a. صعب جدا. So what do? We change that ta to a ta. We change that ta to a ta. Now look at what's happening here. We have two letters that are the same. Ta and ta. One of them is sakin, one of them is not sakin. So what does that mean? Just get rid of the first one and just put a shadda there. Save some space. Yeah? So now we have ittala'a. Ittala'a. And the reason we change the ta to a ta is because remember, if the fa is a sad, a dad, a dha, or a ta, we change it. Okay? Is that clear now, Yamin? If it's still not clear, we can do it another time, inshallah, because I'm just conscious that we're still near the beginning of the text. Are there any other questions from this sentence? Jazakumullah khairan, Sadia, for reminding me. SubhanAllah. It was in my mind to go through that, and I forgot. Okay, let's carry on then, inshallah. Khair. فَيَحْمِلُونَ زَادَهُمْ. So they carry زَادَهُمْ, their provisions. So what would you search for zad? You would search, just because someone asked. Can you see my screen, by the way? As in, can you see the hands wheel on my screen? Okay, excellent. You would search za, ya, dal. What are you doing? Why are you not responding to me? Okay. You would search za, ya, dal. And then you would see, look, zada, to become greater, and so on and so forth. That's the verb. Zada is the verb. As for zad, the noun, you need to go to the noun section for that. Yeah. لا هل أخطأت is the root of zad. I was thinking maybe it's the waw, you know that. Yeah, I think it's the waw. It's not zayada, that's the root. It's za waw dal, which is the root. وتزودوا صحيح. نعم. So when you search تزودوا zada, again, you won't even see a form 1. So it will be zawwada, form 2, yeah? and you see zad is provisions. Yeah, provisions. And that's the zad that we're talking about here. Yeah, and the way you know that is from context. فَيَحْمِلُونَ زَادَهُمْ. How can you say فَيَحْمِلُونَ and they carry, increasing them? It doesn't really make sense. And Arabic doesn't really work like that. You're not going to have you generally don't have a present tense verb followed by a past tense verb. It doesn't really work like that. Yeah. So فَيَحْمِلُونَ زَادَهُمْ and they carry their provisions. مِنْ مَاءٍ وَطَعَامٍ from water and food. مِنْ مَاءٍ وَطَعَامٍ عَلَى ظُهُورِ الْجِمَالِ on the backs of camels. So ظهور, like I said, is the mudaf. Al-jimali is the mudafun ilayhi. وَيَسِيرُونَ فِي تِلْكَ الْكِثَارِ مُجْتَمِعِينَ. Again, I'm going to translate the words in red, and I want you to tell me what the case is, what the case is and why it's that case. وَيَسِيرُونَ and they travel or they traverse في تلك الكفار in these kifar, wastelands, in these barren lands, mujtami'een, in groups or together. So I'll say that again. They traverse in these kifar, in these wastelands, mujtami'een, in groups or together. Together is better. وَيَسِيرُونَ فِي تِلْكَ الْقِفَارِ مُجْتَمِعِينَ. They traverse through these or in these wastelands together. Who can tell me what case it is and why it's that case? Mansoob, yes. It's Mansoob. And you know that because of the ya. So the ya, it tells you that it's Mansoob because this is a plural. If any of you said the fatha tells you it's Mansoob, you were wrong. It's not the fatha. Why? Because this is a sound masculine plural. Good. Very good. Because it is answering the question of how. It's answering the question of how. And we call that hal. We call that hal. وَيَسِيرُونَ فِي تِلْكَ الْكِثَارِ مُجْتَمِعِينَ. And they traverse through these wastelands together. وَإِبْلُهُمْ مُتَتَابِعَةٌ كَالْقِطَارِ. وَإِبْلُهُمْ and their camel. So ibil and jimal, they're all different words for camels. I forget what the difference was, in all honesty. I think one of them is a she camel, and one of them is just generally a camel, or something like that. They have so many words for camels in Arabic. Wallahi, ana la atadhakkar. Mutatabi'atun. Okay, sorry, before that, mujtami'een. What form is that? What form is that on? What form is that on? It's the isim fa'il. It's the active participle. Yes, form 8. اجتمع يجتمع فهو مجتمع. اجتمع يجتمع فهو مجتمع. اجتماع لا تجتمع. Good. Good, useful word for you. Ijtima' means meeting in Arabic. So when you have a meeting, you have an ijtima'. Yeah. وَإِبْلُهُمْ and their camel مُتَتَابِعَةٌ. Yeah, form 6. Yeah. متابعة. تتابع عفوا. تتابع يتتابع فهو متتابع. تتوبع يتتابع فهو متتابع. تتابع تتابع لا تتتابع. Yeah, I think that maybe it's good always to think about the forms. Why? Because that really gives you a good grounding. It gives you a good grounding. It makes you able to navigate. وَإِبْلُهُمْ and you'll find the vast majority of non-Arab speakers, a lot of the time the sarf is really, really bad. It's really bad. And the reason for that is because they're not born Arabs. Born Arabs, they don't need to learn these forms because they already know it. Like it's something natural to them. Obviously, it's still good to learn them, but it's natural to them. Whereas to a non-native speaker, it's not natural. And so you'll make lots of mistakes if you don't learn the forms. And you won't notice the subtle differences. For example, maybe some of you know a bit of Arabic now and you think you understand the Quran. إِلَّا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. إلا عباد الله المخلصين. المخلصين. What does مخلصين mean there? مخلصين? Anyone? لا. See? مخلصين means sincere. مخلصين with a kasra. مخلصين means means sincere. What that means is you single out Allah from everything else. مخلصين with a fatha is the ism maf'ul. If you learn your forms, I'm not picking on you, Zaki. Like, I'm sure you already know this, inshallah. But it's good. I thought the same thing before I learned Arabic. I thought the same thing. مخلصين. In fact, I was, astaghfirullah, man. This is even maybe arrogance. I thought Sahih International got it wrong. Astaghfirullah. But I saw إلا عباد الله المخلصين. I saw in the translation, except for Allah's chosen servants. I'm like, that's not chosen servants. مخلصين means sincere. Huh? La, it doesn't mean that. مخلصين is the isim maf'ul. It's the passive participle, or the done to now. So mukhlas, something that is mukhlas, is something that is singled out, or something that is chosen. So illa ibad Allah al-mukhlasin doesn't mean except for Allah's sincere servants. No, it means except for Allah's chosen servants. Allah is the one who singled them out. Yeah, this is why sarf is so important. So important. Learning those forms are so important. Just because you start learning how to navigate, don't ever assume that importance has ever gone down. When you're studying yourself, if you have the time, you should really find every little verb or every little isim fa'il and isim maf'ul and try and figure out, okay, what form is that? What's going on there? Why did that change? Just as one of you did when you asked, what's the root of ittirar? Good. Ask these questions. Just like another one of you did when you said zadahum. Why didn't you say increase him? Good. Like, these are very good questions because it shows that you're thinking about the words rather than just thinking about the sentence. And that would build your Arabic. Anyway, I'm sorry, that was a digression. وَإِبْلُهُمْ مُتَتَابِعَةٌ قَالْقِطَارٌ. And their camel, مُتَتَابِعَةٌ. It follows like a train. قَالْقِطَارٌ. وَهِيَ تَسِيرُ ka. This is very important. Ka, this verb is a harfu jar. Ka, the particle ka is a harfu jar. It's a preposition and it means like. Like. You know, like in similes. That sort of like. وَهِيَ تَسِيرُ بِهِمْ هَادِئَةً سَاكِنَةً. And it تَسِيرُ بِهِمْ. It takes them. It takes them, as in the ibil takes them. The camel takes them. هَادِئَةً سَاكِنَةً. It takes them calmly and tranquilly. Okay, again, I want you to answer the word هَادِئَةً سَاكِنَةً. Why is it mansoob? Calmly and tranquilly. Answers how? Yes. Which means it's an adverb. It's a hal. Very, very good. وَهِيَ تَسِيرُ بِهِمْ هَادِئَةً سَاكِنَةً. And it is taking them, تَسِيرُ بِهِمْ, it is taking them, هَادِئَةً سَاكِنَةً, calmly and tranquilly. تَصْبِرُ عَلَى الْجُوعِ وَالْعَطْشِ. Okay, let's stop here. Any questions from the part that we've just taken? Where did I find the and? In English, you'll just need it. In English, you'll just need it. Because if you were to say calmly, tranquilly, it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe it does. It takes them. Why is there a ba? Very good. Very, very good question, mashallah. Why is there a ba? See, if he said tasiruhum, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Can you repeat the previous? Okay, I'll come to that. You see, I don't want to get too complicated, but some verbs, they need huruf jar to have objects. And tasiru is one of those verbs. Tasiru is one of those verbs. Okay? And as you change, look, even if you look here, فَيَسِيرُونَ fi, there's a harfu jar after sara. Yasiru. Yeah, it needs a harfu jar to have an object. To have an object. Okay? And this ba here is the harfu jar for tasiru. And depending on the harfu jar, the meaning of the verb can change. So tasiru bihim means it takes them. Yasiruna fi means they are traveling in. Okay? These verbs are something called intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs. Yes, very good, Munib. These are called intransitive verbs. In Arabic, we call them al-af'al al-lazima or al-fi'l lazim. Yeah? What that means is it doesn't take an object without a preposition. As for a transitive verb, then it can have an object. Like, for example, ضرب الولد. He hit the boy. You don't need a pronoun there. You don't need a preposition there. I hope that answers your question, Sadia. Asif, can I repeat the previous sentence? Which one? وهي تسير وإبلهم متتابعة كالقطار. Okay, وإبلهم and their she-camel or their camel متتابعة follows them. See, there's not really a follow them here, but it's understood. What do they follow? He literally says وإبلهم. Okay, you just want the translation, I'm sorry. The she-camels follow like trains. The she-camels follow like trains. If you want to be very literal, the she-camel are followers or is a follower like a train. What are they following? It's following them, of course. Is that okay? Asif, clear? Okay. تصبر على الجوع والعطش معظم الطريق. It is patient. تصبر from صبر يصبر. It is patient. على الجوع upon hunger والعطش and thirst. معظم الطريق for the majority of the journey. Yeah. Why is معظم? Why is that mansoob? Why is that mansoob? Okay, معظم الطريق, what it means is for the majority. So معظم means the majority. Yeah, I'm sure it's in the dictionary. Let me show you guys. So you would search عظمة, very good. That's the root. Yeah. And look, there's loads of meanings in the verbs, but we know معظم, it starts with a meme, which means it must be a noun. Okay. And then we look, we have what? We have عظم, which means عظم, we have عظمى, we have عظم, عظم, عظمى, عظمة, عظموت, عظيم, عظيمة, I don't even know what that is. عظامة, أعظم, تعظيم, معظم. لا هذا معظم. لا هذا معظم. معظم is different. معظم means to be glorified. معظم, the next one. Most of them, the majority, major part or portion of, main part. Yeah? It needs to come with a مضاف إليه. So it comes as a mudaf, and the مضاف إليه is the most of whatever it is. So معظم literally means most of. Most of by itself doesn't make sense. So معظم الطريق means most of the path. Okay, is that clear, Zaki? It's a good, how would you say mostly? غالبا, you would say maybe غالبا to say mostly. Or yeah, غالبا is a good word. So that's a different route. تصبر على الجوع والعطش معظم الطريق. Anyway, going back to my question, why is معظمة? Answers where. Very good, very, very good. So معظمة answers where. Where do they have the sabr? They have the sabr for the majority of the journey. So that is a مفعول فيه or a ظرف المكان. A ظرف المكان. Okay? Very, very good, mashallah. لأنها, because they قد خزنت, they had preserved مؤنتها, its how did they translate mu'na? Mu'na is like it's like provisions again, but it comes from. Did anyone look this word up? Mu'na. It means like I guess it's your provision or its security. Yeah, security is a good word. لأنها قد خزنت مؤنتها. No, it doesn't make sense if I say security. It's secured. It's لأنها قد خزنت, because it's stored its. Let's just use the word provisions again, because it stored its provisions في جوفها. So the word jawf literally means any cavity. But whenever you say jawfi something, the jawf of something, you mean it's inside. So I'm going to just say it's internal cavity, but you know what that really means. لأنها قد خزنت مؤنتها, because it has stored or preserved مؤنتها, its provisions في جوفها, in its stomach. Yeah, stomach is better actually. In its stomach. قبل الرحيل, before travel. Okay, why is qabla, the word qabla, why is that mansoob? Answers when. Very good. Answers when. And so it's the ظرف الزمان. ظرف الزمان. وتحمل فوق ذلك, and it carries on top of that من المتاجر. So obviously فوق ذلك, I've asked enough times, that's the when, that's the where again. So it's a ظرف المكان. وتحمل, and it carries فوق ذلك, above that, من المتاجر, from trade, commodities, أحمالا ثقالا, very heavy أحمال, like weighing, what's the good word? Load, yes, very heavy loads. So أحمال is the plural of حمل, and the حمل is a load. أحمال, loads. ثقال, heavy, very heavy loads. لا تئن منها ولا تكل. Oh, mashallah, very nice sentence. لا تئن منها ولا تكل. لا تئن. تئن comes from أن يئن. Yeah. لا تئن. It doesn't groan منها, from them. ولا تكل. And it doesn't get tired. فترى الجمل. So you see the camel. كأنه مركب يشق تلك الرمال الواسعة. ولذا سمي سفينة الصحراء. Oh, that's such an epic sentence, mashallah. فترى الجمل, and so you see the camel. كأنه مركب, as if it's a huge building or a huge compound. يشق تلك الرمال الواسعة. It's splitting through these wide this wide dust. ولذا, and for that, سمي. So سمي, that is passive. سمي سفينة الصحراء, and for that reason it is called, look, it is called, why? Because it is passive. It is called سفينة الصحراء. It is called the ship of the desert. Safina is a ship. Okay, are there any questions up to this point? MashaAllah, really, Abu al-Hasan al-Nadwi, he's a linguist, mashallah. Indian man, mashallah. فَتَرَى الْجَمَلَ. Okay, I'll repeat that last sentence. فَتَرَى الْجَمَلَ. So you see the camel. كَأَنَّهُ مَرْكَبٌ, as if it's a markab, a compound or a building. يَشُقُّ, it splits. تِلْكَ الرِّمَالَ الْوَاسِعَةَ, it splits that wide, واسعة, wide, rimal, dust or sand, that wide spread of sand. وَلِذَا, and for that reason, سُمِّيَ, it is called. So this is a whole sentence in itself. It is called, because it's passive. as we know from the structure. So it would have been samma yusammi, samma yusammi, musamma, summiya yusamma, musamma. Huh? What does ka'annahu mean by itself? I'll get to that. Safinat as-Sahra. And for that reason, it is called the ship of the desert. Of the desert. Okay, ka'annahu. Ka means like. Fatara al-jamala. So you see the camel. Ka annahu, as if it is. Annahu. See, it's very difficult to break it up into its constituent parts. The way I translated it, ka, anna obviously means like that, isn't it? It means that, yeah? It means that, yeah? Ka means like. But here, when it's together, it's as if you're saying something like, as if it is. I'm not sure if I've answered your question very well at all, I'm sorry. كأنه, so it's as if it is مركب, a building. Does that help, Sadia? Okay, good. Okay, I think that's all of the questions for this section. Let's see if we can finish it. لا مستحيل أن نكمله. Well, I guess the lucky thing for a lot of you, what is samma? Samma means he is called, or he named, sorry, he named. He named. So samma, sammani walid. Samma is form 2. Form 2. Form 1 would have been wasama. La. Yes. Samma is form 2. Listen, samma. It's got the shadda on it. Tasmiya. Musamma. It's all form 2. Okay. So whenever you see the shadda on a verb, you should immediately jump to 2 forms. Form 2 and form 5. If it has a ta at the beginning and it's not a fi'l mudari', then you know it's form 5. If it doesn't have a ta at all, then you know it's definitely form 2. Okay. وإن ضل المسافرون. هذا خطأ. This is a mistake. It's not وإن ضل. It's وإن ضل. So change that on your books. It shouldn't be وإن ضل. It should be وإن ضل. وإن ضل doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So it should be وإن ضل. And if المسافرون ضل, if the travelers المسافرون ضل went astray, الطريقة, or they got lost from the path, that's better. وإن ضل المسافرون الطريقة. And if the travelers lost the path في الصحراء, in the desert, يأخذهم. Okay, first, does everyone understand this? Yeah. وإن ضل المسافرون الطريق في الصحراء. Is that clear? Raise your hands if it's clear. Super quickly, please. So مسافرون is the فاعل, ضل is the فعل, الطريق is the مفعول به. And if the travelers become lost or lose the path في الصحراء, in the desert, good, I think everyone's clear on that. يأخذهم القلق. القلق is the فاعل. Stress holds them or takes them. يأخذهم, takes them. Stress takes them upon their lives. So stress over their lives takes them. They get worried about their life. They think that they might die. مخافة أن ينفد زادهم فيموتون جوعا وعطشا. Okay, this is a long sentence. I'm going to translate it. Try and pay attention, inshallah. يأخذهم القلق. Stress, القلق على حياتهم يأخذهم. القلق على حياتهم, stress over their lives, يأخذهم, takes over them. or takes them. مَخَافَةَ أَنْ يَنْفَدَ زَادُهُمْ, out of fear that their provisions will run out. يَنْفَدَ زَادُهُمْ, زَادُهُمْ, their provisions, يَنْفَدَ, will run out. فَيَمُوتُونَ, and so they will die. جُوعًا وَعَطْشًا, out of hunger and thirst. Okay, let me do that again. يَأْخُذُهُمْ الْقَلَقُ عَلَى حَيَاتِهِمْ, stress over their lives takes them. مَخَافَةَ أَنْ يَنْفَدَ زَادُهُمْ, out of fear that their provisions will run out. فَيَمُوتُونَ جُوعًا وَعَطْشًا, such that they die out of hunger and thirst. Why are the boxes in blue? Why are they mansoob? Why are they mansoob? Hal. Is he answering how? Is he answering how? Why? Yes, it's answering the question of why. Why do they get stressed? Makhafa, out of fear. Why do they die? Ju'an wa atsha, out of hunger and thirst. Very good. Very good. ولكن الجمل, but the camel, ينقذهم أحيانا من تلك الأخطار. Okay, but the camel, ينقذهم أحيانا, sometimes, أحيانا means sometimes saves them, من تلك الأخطار, saves them from those dangers. Okay, why is أحيانا منصوب? Which question is he answering? When. Very, very good. So when does it save them? Sometimes. Very, very good. And so this we call, say in your rooms, yes, ظرف الزمان. Very good. ظرف الزمان. ولكن الجمل, but the camel, ينقذهم, saves them, أحيانا, saves them sometimes, من تلك الأخطار, from these dangers. لأنه يشم الماء, لأنه, because it, يشم الماء, it smells water, من بعد, from a great distance or from far. Is that clear? لأنه, because it, يشم الماء, smells water, من بعد, at a distance. فيسير نحوه, and so it travels in its direction. بسرعة غريبة, with a strange speed. Okay, why is نحوه, in its direction? Why is that mansoob? Why is it mansoob? And so it travels in its direction. بسرعة غريبة, with a swift, with a strange speed. Okay, quickly. Anyone? Raise your hands if you don't know. Okay, so the rest of you, تفضلوا, come on, think. When, very good. Not object, when. كيف يكون when, عفوا, كيف يكون when. And so you travel in its direction. In its direction. Direction. Its direction. What does that tell you? What question is he answering? كيف يكون how? It's not how. It's not, yes, it's mudaf طبعا, لكن mudaf is not a reason for something to be anything. نحوه, in its direction. If I were to tell you that I ate, where? Of course, in its direction. فيسير نحوه. So it goes or it travels in its direction. Yeah, نحوه, in its direction. So that's another ظرف المكان. بسرعة غريبة, with a strange speed. ليستقي صاحبه. ليستقي. This is form 10. استقى يستقي فهو مستق. استقي يستقى فهو مستقى. استقاء. استقي لا تستقي. ليستقي صاحبه, to give its owner drink. استقاء, استقى. وإذ استسقى موسى, for example, Allah Jalla wa Ala says, is طلب السقي. It's to desire to give someone drink, or to want to give someone drink. So وإذ استسقى موسى, and when Musa لقومه, when he sought drink for his people from Allah Jalla wa Ala. And obviously li here is an nasib. It's making yastaqiya mansub, as we can see from the fatha. Okay, because we've reached the end of our time, if you need to leave, you can leave. If you have any questions, let me know. And what I'll do is I shall complete the translation for those who want to say, because I want to move on. I don't want to stay on one text for forever, inshallah. So I want to move on. So I'm going to translate the rest of this text. If you need to leave, then catch up from the recording, inshallah. And I'm just going to not answer any questions from this point onwards, unless it's for anything previous. Does anyone have any questions for anything previous? If not, I'm just going to fire ahead. Okay, I'll assume you don't have any questions. وَالْجَمَلُ سَهْلُ الْقِيَادِ. That's fine, you don't need to stay. If you need to leave, you can leave. Just catch up on the recordings, inshallah. وَالْجَمَلُ سَهْلُ الْقِيَادِ. And the camel is easy to lead. لَيِّنُ الطِّبَاعِ. Soft, or yes, soft in its nature. يَتَحَمَّلُ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْأَذَى بِالصَّبْرِ. It carries, يَتَحَمَّلُ, it carries كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْأَذَى بِالصَّبْرِ. A huge amount of harm, من الأذى بالصبر, with patience. ولكنه يثور متى بلغ الأذى شدة عظيمة. ولكنه, but it, يثور, it takes revenge. متى بلغ الأذى, when it reaches of harm, شدة عظيمة, a huge, a severely huge amount. وَلَكِنَّهُ يَثُورُ, but it takes revenge. Thara, or it can mean to revolt. A tharwa is like a revolution as well. وَلَكِنَّهُ يَثُورُ, it revolts. مَتَى بَلَغَ الْأَذَى, when its harm reaches شِدَّةً عَظِيمًا, it reaches a huge amount. فَيَنْتَقِمُ, and so it takes revenge. مِمَّنْ آذَاهُ, and so it takes revenge from the one who caused it harm. Now, آذَاهُ, this is actually form 4 from the root adha. Yeah, I'll explain how that is form 4. So the root is Hamza, Dhal, and Ya. Hamza, Dhal, and Ya. Okay. So now what's going on here is obviously on form 4, you have the Hamzatul Qat'i at the beginning. And so what happens here is you get A'dha, which is really difficult to say. A'dha. And that is all the same. Yeah? A'dha. And now remember I said, if two letters that are the same come immediately after each other, you make them mushaddad, except if it's a Hamza. If it's a Hamza, you just make it long. So you have A'dha, because A'dha is difficult. It's the same thing with Amana. You don't say A'mana, you say Amana, because it's easier to say. So A'dha is form 4 from Adha. Form 4. Okay, hope that's clear. فينتقم, also ينتقم اشتد here, ينتقم the all form 8. ولا يتركه, and it does not leave it إلا إذا ثأر لنفسه وفتك به. وفتك. Okay, good. إلا sorry, I just need to get some water, inshallah. نعم. ولا يتركه, and he doesn't leave it إلا, except if, إلا إذا, except if ثأر لنفسه وفتك به, except if ثأر لنفسه, it avenges itself, ثأر لنفسه وفتك به, and it assassinates for it or for itself, وفتك به, or to kill something. Okay. وإذا قوي الجمل, and if the camel becomes strong, اشتد بأسه, it's اشتد بأسه is like a عبارة, it's like a تعبير, it's like a phrase which means like it gets very strong. وعاف الأكل, and it leaves food, ما لم يوضع في فمه, so long as ما لم يوضع في فمه, ما لم يوضع, this is a mistake, it shouldn't be يوضع, because lam, look, lam, you know lam, isn't it? Lam is a jazim. Lam is a jazim. It's quite shocking. This is a book teaching Arabic. It shouldn't have any mistakes in it. So it should be majzoom. It should be majzoom. So change that in your copies as well. It should be majzoom. It should be majzoom. So you should have a sakin there. I doubt it was the author who did that. It must be the publisher. Because the author, mashallah, he's really good. His Arabic is very strong. ما لم يوضع في فمه, so long as it's not placed, يوضع, and this is passive again, يوضع في فمه, in its mouth. ويقول الناس عنه, and people say عنه, about it, إنه صائم, indeed it is fasting. وفي هذه الحالة, and in this situation, يخرج شقشقته من حلقه ويشقشق من الغضب. Okay, I don't know what shiqshiqa is. Let me look that up. I remember I looked it up in the past as well. Sounds like something very particular. I should probably show you guys what I'm looking at. So because this is a quadrilateral root, yeah, what you would do is you would search sha, sheen, qaf, sheen, qaf. You'd search that. And then look shiqshiqa. So shaqshaqa is to peep or to chirp. Huh? That doesn't make sense. Okay, I need to look into that. But literally, according to Hans Wehr, it would be okay. Let's see some other sources. This is a very good website, by the way. It's called Ejtal. It's got so many dictionaries on it. This is something called Lisan al-Arab. is, okay, it's going to take me a while to find it because it's organized differently. I'm not sure what shiqatahu means. And in this stage, well, camels don't tweet, nor do they make that noise, nor do they chat or chatter. Did any of you find any good translations for this? Where is the chat function? Squeal. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's good. وفي هذه الهذا يخرج شقشقته. Its squeal or its that sort of noise comes out من حلقه from its throat. Yeah, very good, mashallah. Yeah, very good. ويشقشق من الغضب. And it squeals out of anger. And it squeals out of anger. Very good. So that's the end of this text. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like some of these sorts of texts, you know, that because they're so, they really paint a picture in your mind. They really paint a picture in your mind. One of you asked about vocab privately, and I told you to ask me in the class. It's very difficult to learn vocab, in all honesty. For Western students, it's very difficult. I know a few people who are very good at it. They will just memorize lists. But for me personally, my brain doesn't really work like that. The way I learnt my vocab is I just kept reading and I continued reading. But in order for that to be effective, for you to be able to amass a huge amount of words, you need to read a lot. Not that I read a lot, I'm not saying that, but you really need to read for a while and you need to read a lot. If you continue at this pace, inshallah ta'ala, I'm hopeful that within a year or so, you'd be able to read very well. Because the common words, they just keep coming up. Words like idda, min, tara, yasluk, ظهور, يسيرون, تسير, مؤنة, جوف, jamal. All of these words, they come up so much. Other, they come up so much, you know them. Not because you actively try to learn them, but because you've come across them so many times. And in my personal opinion, I think that's the best way to learn it. It's simple, it's easy in the sense that it's fun, because you can just keep reading stuff and you feel as if you're learning new things. You could read whatever you like. If you like stories, you can read stories. If you like newspapers, you can read newspapers. Newspapers are a bit tough though, personally. I don't like reading newspapers because it's different to how Islamic texts are written. They're not written like that. And so it takes a while to just get used to their formatting. And a lot of what we'd read would prime you to read Islamic sources. Anyway, inshallah, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Those of you who are left. I'll wait a moment just to see if anyone's typing anything. Okay, inshallah, jazakumullah khairan. On that, we'll end inshallah, and next week we'll have a different text. Do you have any requests, any specific topics that you'd prefer? I've got a few that I can choose from. I've got Islamic topics, I've got stories, or I can just pick whatever. Okay, khair. I'll just pick from the one that I think would be best, inshallah. Okay, jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.